Martha Stevens, a refined 75-year-old woman, found herself in a distressing situation when she forgot her wallet during a visit to an upscale Manhattan restaurant. Humiliated and thrown out by the staff, she encountered James, a homeless man with a heart full of kindness. Despite his struggles, James selflessly paid for her meal, leaving Martha deeply moved by his generosity. This unexpected act of compassion led to a remarkable friendship between the two. Martha, touched by James's kindness, decided to offer him a life-changing opportunity, a second chance to rebuild his life and help others in the process. If you are not subscribed, I recommend you subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss any videos. Martha Stevens, a dignified 75-year-old woman, sat alone at a beautifully set table in one of Manhattan's most luxurious restaurants. Her elegant gray suit and shimmering pearl necklace reflected the soft, golden glow of the chandeliers, making her presence almost ethereal. Yet, despite the refined atmosphere, Martha's mind was far away, lost in the labyrinth of her memories. As she reached for her purse to settle the bill, a cold wave of panic washed over her. She had forgotten her wallet at home. Her heart pounded as she nervously tried to explain the situation to the waiter, a young man whose impatience was palpable. "Ma'am, if you can't pay, you'll have to leave," he said coldly, his eyes hard and unyielding. Desperation seeped into Martha's voice as she pleaded, "Please, you must understand. I simply forgot my wallet. I can return with the money later." But her words fell on deaf ears. The waiter, growing increasingly irritated, refused to show even the slightest hint of compassion. "We can't allow that. You'll have to leave now," he insisted, his hand gesturing dismissively toward the door. Martha's face flushed with embarrassment as she scanned the room, hoping for a sympathetic glance, but all she found were judgmental eyes and whispers of disapproval. The scene soon attracted the attention of the restaurant manager, a stern man whose frown deepened as he approached. "What seems to be the problem here?" he demanded, his tone laced with annoyance. "This lady can't pay her bill," the waiter replied sharply, eager to shift the blame. Martha, struggling to maintain her dignity, said, "Please, I've been a loyal customer for years. I just forgot my wallet today." But her words, filled with a mix of pride and desperation, were met with cold indifference. "That's not our concern. If you can't pay, you'll have to leave," the manager declared, his voice devoid of empathy. The sting of humiliation cut deep as Martha tried to argue, her voice cracking under the weight of her growing shame. "But this is ridiculous," she exclaimed, feeling her composure slip away. Yet her protests were in vain as the manager, with a firm grip on her arm, began to usher her out, his voice low and patronizing. "Come on, ma'am, let's not make a scene." Once outside, Martha stood in the harsh light of the day, feeling utterly humiliated and powerless. Tears of frustration and sorrow welled up in her eyes as she struggled to process the cruel turn of events. As she stood there trying to collect herself, James, a homeless man who often lingered near the restaurant, noticed her distress. Despite his struggles, he approached her with a cautious kindness. "What happened, ma'am?" he asked gently, his voice filled with genuine concern. Martha, choking back tears, explained, "I forgot my wallet, and they threw me out." Her words were tinged with disbelief and hurt. James, moved by her plight, immediately began searching through his few meager belongings. Despite having so little, he found some coins, and without hesitation, he walked into the restaurant. A few minutes later, James returned, holding a small receipt in his weathered hands. "There you go, everything's taken care of," he said softly, offering her a reassuring smile. Martha was overwhelmed, her heart swelling with a mix of gratitude and awe at the man's incredible generosity. Without thinking, she threw her arms around him, her voice trembling with emotion as she whispered, "I don't know how to thank you. Please, tell me where I can find you again." James, with a humility that matched his earlier kindness, simply replied, "I'm always around here, ma'am. Don't worry about it." Deeply moved, Martha returned home, but the image of James and his selfless act of compassion lingered in her mind, stirring a profound sense of responsibility. She couldn't shake the feeling that she needed to do something in return for his kindness. A few days later, James was sitting on the familiar sidewalk, as he always did, when suddenly he found himself surrounded by men in suits. One of them, holding a large envelope, stepped forward and asked, "Are you the man who helped Martha Stephen?" James, utterly bewildered, nodded slowly. "Yes, that's me. But what's this about?" Unbeknownst to him, Martha had been working behind the scenes to repay his kindness, and now his life was about to change in ways he could never have imagined. "We have a message for you," the man said, his tone serious yet laced with a sense of mystery as he handed James the envelope. The weight of the moment was tangible as James carefully opened it, revealing a letter and an invitation to meet Martha Stevens at her mansion. His heart raced with a mix of curiosity and uncertainty. What could this possibly mean? He had no idea that accepting this invitation would be the catalyst for a transformation beyond anything he could have imagined, a meeting that would change the course of his life forever. As the morning sun began to rise, its golden rays filtered through the towering skyscrapers of Manhattan, casting a warm glow on James Carter's face. He stirred from his sleep, his body protesting with aches and stiffness after another night on the unforgiving sidewalk. The worn, tattered blanket he clutched was his only shield against the bone-chilling wind that cut through the city streets, yet he had grown accustomed to it. This harsh reality had become his norm, a far cry from the life he once knew, and as he slowly sat up, he couldn't help but reflect on how drastically everything had changed. James hadn't always been destined for the streets. He was born into a modest but loving middle-class family in the suburbs of Boston. His parents, hardworking and determined, sacrificed much to provide for James and his younger sister, Emily. From a young age, James had been the pride of his family, a bright and ambitious boy who excelled in everything he set his mind to. Teachers and peers alike saw his potential, predicting a future filled with success and accomplishment. His parents, recognizing his potential, made every sacrifice imaginable to ensure he had the best opportunities. They worked extra hours, cut back on luxuries, and even dipped into their savings to send James to one of Boston's most prestigious private schools. And James did not disappoint them. He thrived in that environment, consistently earning top grades, accolades, and the admiration of his teachers. His hard work and determination paid off when he was accepted into a renowned university to study electrical engineering, a field he was passionate about. During his college years, James's brilliance shone even brighter. He wasn't just a top student, he was a leader. As president of the robotics club, he led his team to national competitions, bringing home trophies and recognition. His achievements didn't go unnoticed, and upon graduating, he was immediately recruited by one of the leading tech companies in New York City. James's rise in the company was nothing short of meteoric. His sharp intellect and relentless work ethic propelled him to the top, where he managed multi-million-dollar projects and earned the respect of everyone around him. With success came the trappings of a luxurious life and upscale apartment on the Upper West Side, a sleek sports car, fine dining, and a social circle filled with other high achievers. His life, from the outside, appeared to be the epitome of the American dream. Everything seemed perfect, a seamless journey from a promising childhood to a glittering adult life. But as James now sat on the cold sidewalk, the life he once led felt like a distant memory, almost as if it had happened to someone else. The transition from that life of affluence to one of survival on the streets had been slow, almost imperceptible at first. A series of unfortunate events, a failed relationship, the unexpected death of his parents, a business deal gone wrong, each chipped away at the foundation of his life. And then, as if life had conspired against him, the final blow came when the company he had dedicated his life to downsized, leaving him jobless and, soon after, homeless. The fall was devastating, stripping him of everything he had worked so hard for. Now, standing with the invitation in hand, James couldn't help but feel a glimmer of hope, a feeling he had long since abandoned. The meeting with Martha Stevens, the woman whose kindness he had encountered in such an unlikely way, seemed like a beacon in the darkness. Little did he know, this meeting was not just an act of gratitude, but a turning point, a chance to reclaim his life, to rebuild what had been lost, and perhaps to find something even greater. However, despite all his outward success, James couldn't shake the growing emptiness that gnawed at his heart. The endless hours he spent at the office began to wear him down, slowly eroding the joy he once found in his achievements. The isolation that came with his high-powered position became a heavy burden. One by one, he distanced himself from the people who mattered most, friends who used to fill his weekends with laughter, and his beloved sister, Emily, who had always looked up to him as her hero. The relentless pursuit of success consumed him, leaving him with little but a deepening sense of loneliness and dissatisfaction. Then, as if life hadn't already taken enough, tragedy struck with the force of a tidal wave. The company that had once been the pinnacle of his success became embroiled in a devastating financial scandal that sent shockwaves through Wall Street. Though James had no part in the fraudulent activities, he found himself unjustly caught in the crossfire. Manipulated evidence was presented, painting him as complicit in the scheme. Before he could even muster a defense, the company, eager to distance itself from the scandal, fired him, leaving his reputation in tatters. The media vultures descended quickly, turning his downfall into a sensational story. James Carter, once a shining example of corporate success, became a cautionary tale of disgrace. With his career in ruins, James desperately searched for another job, but every door was slammed shut in his face. His once impeccable resume was now a stain, and no one wanted to take a chance on him. As the bills piled up, he was forced to make heartbreaking decisions. First, his luxurious apartment had to go, then his prized sports car. Each sale chipped away at the life he had built, until there was nothing left but the bitter reality of homelessness. Stripped of his pride, he couldn't bear to reach out to his family, ashamed of the man he had become. So he wandered the streets of New York, a city that had once been his playground, now a cold and unforgiving labyrinth of survival. Life on the streets was brutal and unforgiving, a stark contrast to the comfort and security he had once taken for granted. Each day was a battle, not just to survive but to maintain a shred of dignity. He slept on hard sidewalks, sought shelter in subway stations, and spent his days aimlessly wandering, searching for anything that might offer a glimmer of hope. Despite his dire circumstances, James refused to beg openly. Instead, he would sit quietly in his usual spot near a 24-hour diner, an old weathered hat placed in front of him, hoping that the kindness of strangers might offer a few coins. Winter in New York was merciless. The cold sliced through him, down to his very bones. The thin, tattered blanket he had scavenged from a trash bin offered little protection against the freezing wind. In his darkest moments, James would lie there, shivering and defeated, and wonder how his life had unraveled so completely. He thought about the sacrifices his parents had made, about Emily, who probably still believed her brother was living a life of success and fulfillment. The shame was almost unbearable, but deep within him, a small, flickering flame of hope remained. It was the same hope that had been kindled years ago by Mr. Walters, his elderly neighbor back in Boston. Mr. Walters had been a solitary figure, spending his days reminiscing about his adventures at sea. Young James would visit him after school, captivated by the old sailor's stories. When Mr. Walters fell gravely ill, James took it upon himself to care for him, bringing soup and shit to all for him. In gratitude, Mr. Walters gifted him an old pocket watch, a cherished possession from his years at sea. This watch, he had said, "She's seen me through many storms and calms. Now it is yours. Let it remind you to keep moving forward no matter how difficult the journey becomes." That watch, now worn and scratched, remained a symbol of resilience for James, a constant reminder that even in the darkest of times, there was always the possibility of a new beginning. One bitterly cold, gray afternoon, as James sat in his usual spot near the diner, lost in thoughts of his past, something unexpected happened. He watched as an elderly woman was unceremoniously thrown out of a nearby restaurant. She was visibly upset, trying to explain that she had simply forgotten her wallet at home and could return later to pay the bill. But the impatient waiter was having none of it, dismissing her pleas with cold indifference. As James observed the scene from a distance, a wave of compassion washed over him, stronger than any he had felt in a long time. Without a second thought, James stood up, gathered the few coins he had managed to collect, and walked into the restaurant. The stares of disdain and judgment from the waiter and patrons didn't mind. He approached the cashier and handed over his meager collection, asking them to cover the woman's bill. The waiter sneered, clearly unimpressed, but took the money nonetheless. When James returned to the woman, now standing outside, and handed her the receipt, she looked at him in disbelief, her eyes wide with surprise. "Do you did this for me?" Martha asked, her voice quivering with profound emotion. "Yes, Mappon," James replied with quiet humility. "They saw what happened and couldn't just stand by and let them treat you like that." Martha gazed at him, her eyes brimming with tears of surprise and heartfelt gratitude. Her hand reached out, gripping James's with a firmness that spoke volumes. "My name is Martha Stevens," she said, her voice trembling. "I don't know how to thank you enough. I was so distressed. It is hard to believe this was happening to me." James offered a gentle smile, trying to downplay his actions. "You don't need to thank me. I understand what it's like to be in a difficult spot. I just did what I felt was right." Martha's eyes, once filled with shock, now softened into an expression of deep compassion as she took in James's worn appearance. "And you, my dear, how are you holding up?" she asked, her concern evident. James sighed, his smile tinged with sadness. "I've been living on the streets for a while now. It's been tough, but I managed," and he said quietly. Martha's grip on his hand tightened, a gesture of empathy and support. "This isn't a right. You dare such a good person. I want to do something for you. Please, let me help," she insisted with a determined kindness. James shook his head, still taken aback by the unexpected kindness. "And you've already done more than enough by just listening. Sometimes, that's all we need to have someone acknowledge our struggles," he said softly. Martha regarded him with unwavering kindness. Please, let me at least buy you a meal. There's a lovely cafe nearby. Will you join me?" James hesitated for a moment, the warmth of her offer sinking in before he nodded in agreement. They walked to the cafe together, where Martha ordered a substantial, comforting meal. As they sat across from each other, they began to share their stories. James learned that Martha was not just a wealthy philanthropist, but a woman deeply committed to making a difference in the world. Despite her financial security, she faced her battles and moments of loneliness. The genuine connection she felt with James, amidst her life of privilege, was a rare and cherished gift. They spoke candidly about their lives, their struggles, and their hopes, finding solace in each other's company. The meal they shared was modest but filled with a deep sense of comfort and warmth that James hadn't experienced in a long time. Each bite of the simple fare seemed to melt away the lingering frost of his past days on the streets. As they conversed, James felt a profound sense of being seen and valued, a sensation that had become all too rare in his life. For the first time in what felt like an eternity, he was heard and understood. When their meal ended, Martha handed James an envelope with a kind smile, saying, Please accept this as a small token of my appreciation. I hope it can make things a bit easier for you." Later that day, James opened the envelope to discover a substantial amount of money. The sum was significant, but what truly overwhelmed him was the profound kindness and generosity that Martha had extended. This act of compassion marked a pivotal moment in his life, stirring emotions he had nearly forgotten and filling him with a renewed sense of hope. A week later, Martha extended an invitation for James to visit her mansion. As he approached the grand estate, he was filled with a mix of excitement and apprehension. Martha's home was a breathtaking display of opulence, with its lavish furnishings and refined decor exuding an refined, an air of elegance. Upon his arrival, Martha greeted him with genuine warmth, her smile a beacon of kindness. "Welcome, James," she said, guiding him into a cozy sitting area. "I wanted to discuss something important with you, Will." James's heart raced with curiosity and anticipation. Martha, maintaining her gentle demeanor, began to speak. Your act of kindness and the way you helped me without any expectation in return truly moved me. People like you deserve more than just a fleeting gesture of charity. I believe you deserve a chance for a new beginning." Martha continued, explaining that she was spearheading a new project aimed at supporting individuals in need, and was searching for someone with a genuine understanding of hardship and a compassionate heart to help manage aid. She offered James the role of project manager, a position that would not only provide him with financial stability, but also grant him the opportunity to make a meaningful difference in the lives of others. This was not just a job offer, it was a chance for James to rebuild his life, channel his experiences into something profoundly impactful, and finally find a renewed sense of purpose. James was left utterly speechless. Are you serious? This is an extraordinary opportunity. I don't even know where to begin to thank you, he said, his voice choked with emotion. Martha's eyes sparkled with warmth as she responded. You don't need to thank me, James. I believe that life often presents us with second chances, and I think this is yours. I want you to seize this moment to rebuild your life and make a difference for others. With a heart full of gratitude and newfound enthusiasm, James accepted the offer. Over the next several months, he devoted himself to the project with an unwavering commitment, working tirelessly to aid those in need. His efforts began to make a substantial impact on the community. Martha, ever the supportive friend and mentor, stood by his side, witnessing the transformation of James's life from one of hardship to one rich with purpose and fulfillment. Thanks to Martha's extraordinary generosity and James's relentless perseverance, he rediscovered hope and direction. His journey became a powerful testament to the impact of kindness and the possibility of redemption, offering a beacon of hope that even in the darkest of times, a new beginning is always within reach. As James shared his story detailing his promising career, the scandal that shattered his life, and the harsh reality of living on the streets, he spoke of the daily struggles and the small joys he found in helping others who were homeless. Martha listened intently, her eyes growing misty as she absorbed his tale of resilience and kindness. You've endured so much, James, Martha said, her voice trembling with empathy. And it's remarkable that, despite everything, you still possess such a compassionate heart. I want to help you rebuild your life. I understand it won't be easy, but I truly believe we can navigate this journey together. James was overwhelmed. Martha's offer was beyond anything he had dared to hope for. And I don't know how to respond, Mrs. Stevens. I am profoundly grateful. I have nothing to offer in return, he said, his voice quivering with heartfelt emotion. Martha's gentle smile conveyed her unwavering belief in James' potential and the shared commitment to their new venture. In that moment, James realized that not only was he being given a chance to start anew, but he was also part of something larger, a partnership founded on mutual respect and the shared goal of making a positive impact on the world. You've already done more than enough, James, Martha said firmly, her resolve clear. Now it is my turn to help. The very first thing we need to do is find you a place to stay. I don't want you going back to the streets. With a determined gesture, Martha summoned her butler and instructed him to prepare a guest room for James. Within no time, James found himself guided to a warm, inviting room, complete with a plush bed and a private bathroom. The sight of the room, so different from the cold, unforgiving sidewalks he had grown accustomed to, felt almost surreal to James. As he sank into the comfort of the bed, it was as though he was drifting into a dream where warmth, safety, and kindness were once again within his grasp. In the days that followed, Martha and James formed a bond that grew deeper with each passing moment. Martha, with her characteristic generosity, helped James revamp his appearance, buying him new clothes and treating him to a salon visit where he received a fresh haircut and a clean shave. As James looked at himself in the mirror, he marveled at how different he looked and felt like a person reborn. They spent countless hours in each other's company, sharing stories and laughter. James learned that Martha was not only wise but had a heart brimming with compassion, enriched by a life full of diverse experiences. One afternoon, as they sipped tea in the serene garden, Martha opened up about her struggles. You know, James, she began, her voice soft and reflective, I've had my share of hardships too. I lost my husband many years ago. Since then, I've had to navigate the challenges of maintaining our family business and caring for my children. It has been a relentless battle to stay strong, but your act of kindness has reminded me that there is still goodness in the world. James listened intently, moved by Martha's vulnerability. I am truly sorry for your loss, Mrs. Stevens. "I can only imagine how difficult that must have been for you," he said sincerely. Martha's eyes glistened with the weight of her memories, but her smile remained steadfast. "Then thank you, James. Sharing our stories and supporting each other is what makes this journey a bit more bearable. Your kindness has not only made a difference in my life, but also renewed my faith in the power of compassion." As their friendship deepened, James found solace in the understanding and warmth Martha offered. Her willingness to support him, both emotionally and practically, was a beacon of hope and a reminder that even in the most challenging times, human connection and generosity could transform lives in profound ways. It was. "But that is why I believe so strongly in helping others," Martha said warmly, her smile conveying genuine affection. "We all need a bit of kindness in our lives, and now I want to repay yours." With that, Martha threw herself into helping James rebuild his life. She leveraged her extensive network to help him find job opportunities. Through her connections, she arranged several interviews for him. James, although initially nervous, felt a surge of hope and determination. Each interview was an opportunity to restart his career, and Martha's unwavering support helped him prepare thoroughly and build his confidence. After a few weeks of relentless effort and preparation, James received an offer from a respected engineering firm. While the position was modest, it marked a significant step forward and a new beginning. When James shared the news with Martha, her face lit up with joy. "James, that is wonderful. I knew we could do it," she exclaimed, pulling him into a heartfelt hug. "Thank you so much for everything, Mrs. Stevens. I couldn't have done it without your help," James said, his voice thick with emotion and gratitude. "You earned it, James," Martha replied, her eyes shining with pride. "And there's so much more ahead. We'll keep working together to ensure you have a bright future." With Martha's encouragement and support, James embarked on this new chapter with renewed hope and determination. As he began his new role, he found not only a job but also a sense of purpose and belonging. The path ahead was still uncertain, but with Martha by his side and a fresh start, James was ready to embrace the future with optimism and resilience. James felt a rush of excitement as he absorbed Martha's idea. It was a vision that resonated deeply with him, one that would combine his personal experience and Martha's generous spirit. "That would be incredible, Mrs. Stevens. So many people need help. If we can do something to change their lives, it would be wonderful," he said, his voice brimming with enthusiasm. Martha's eyes sparkled with determination. "Then let us do it together, James. Let us use our experiences and resources to create something that truly makes a difference," she said, extending her hand toward him. James shook her hand firmly, feeling a profound sense of purpose. "Absolutely. I am all in." Over the following months, James and Martha poured their hearts into establishing the foundation. They worked tirelessly to develop a comprehensive plan that included job training programs, counseling services, and transitional housing. James's first-hand experience with homelessness gave him invaluable insights into what support systems were truly effective, while Martha's extensive network and financial resources provided the necessary backing. They named the foundation New Horizons, reflecting their mission to offer a fresh start to those in need. The foundation quickly gained attention and support from the community, and soon they had a team of dedicated professionals and volunteers working alongside them. The launch event was a moment of profound significance for both Martha and James. As they cut the ribbon to officially open New Horizons, James looked out at the crowd, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. It was not just about the work they had done, but about the lives they were about to touch and the change they were about to inspire. In the years that followed, New Horizons made a significant impact, helping countless individuals find their footing and rebuild their lives. James's journey from the streets to becoming a catalyst for positive change became a beacon of hope for many. Through their shared vision and relentless effort, James and Martha transformed their struggles into a force for good. Their story was a testament to the power of compassion, resilience, and the profound difference one person's kindness can make in the lives of many. James felt a profound sense of accomplishment as he sat in the garden with Martha, reflecting on their journey. The garden, bathed in the soft glow of the evening light, seemed to mirror the warmth and hope they had cultivated through their work. Look at what we've achieved together, James. It's more than I could have ever imagined, Martha said, her voice filled with emotion as she glanced around at the lush surroundings and the success they had fostered. James smiled, his heart swelling with pride. And this is just the beginning, Mrs. Stevens. There's still so much more we can do. Thank you for believing in me and giving me this chance, he replied, his voice thick with gratitude. Martha reached out and gently placed her hand on his. No, James, I should be thanking you. You've reminded me of the profound impact that kindness and compassion can have. Together we dare making a difference, and that is what truly matters. Their partnership had blossomed into something transformative not just for themselves, but for countless others. The success of New Horizons was a testament to their shared vision and relentless effort. James's experience, once a story of hardship and loss, had become a beacon of hope and resilience for those who needed it most. As they continued their work, James and Martha saw firsthand the positive changes in the lives of the people they helped. The stories of individuals finding jobs, regaining their dignity, and creating new beginnings were a daily reminder of the power of their mission. Their friendship deepened as they shared both the triumphs and the challenges of their work. James valued Martha, not only as a mentor but as a true friend who had stood by him through the darkest and brightest moments of his journey. One evening, as they wrapped up a busy day at the foundation, Martha turned to James with a thoughtful expression. You know, James, I often think about how different our lives could have been if we hadn't crossed paths. Sometimes, the most unexpected encounters can lead to the most profound changes. James nodded, his gaze reflecting a deep sense of appreciation. I couldn't agree more. Meeting you has been one of the most pivotal moments of my life. It's amazing how a single act of kindness can set off a chain reaction of positive change. As they sat together watching the sunset over the horizon, both James and Martha knew that their work was far from over. They were driven by the belief that their efforts could continue to spark hope and transformation in countless lives. The journey that had started with a simple act of generosity had evolved into a legacy of compassion and resilience. With every step forward, they remained committed to their mission, knowing that their combined efforts would keep shining a light on the path to a brighter future for those in need. As James and Martha gazed at the starry sky, a profound sense of hope and determination filled the air. The constellation of their shared vision had illuminated a path of transformative change, and they were eager to continue their journey together. The friendship and partnership they had cultivated were not just about personal triumphs, but were a living testament to the enduring power of kindness and generosity. With Martha's unwavering support and James's newfound purpose, they felt ready to tackle any challenges that lay ahead. In the months that followed, the impact of their foundation, New Horizons, began to resonate even more deeply within the community. The foundation's growth was fueled by its commitment to expanding its reach and effectiveness. They introduced a wide range of training programs designed to equip individuals with skills that could truly make a difference in their lives. From technical workshops to personal development courses, each initiative aimed to provide a comprehensive support system for those in need. James, now a central figure in the organization, took on a multitude of roles. He managed daily operations with a keen eye for detail and a heart full of empathy. His experience on the streets gave him a unique perspective, allowing him to connect with beneficiaries in meaningful ways. He also took on a mentoring role, guiding individuals through their journeys of transformation. His story of resilience and renewal began to gain attention beyond the confines of the foundation. Invitations to speak at conferences and events on social inclusion and overcoming adversity started to pour in. At one such conference, James's path crossed with Sophia Carter, a young entrepreneur with a passion for social causes and innovative business practices. Sophia's vision for using business as a force for social good aligned perfectly with James's mission. Sophia's enthusiasm was infectious as she and James exchanged ideas on how to elevate the foundation's impact. They envisioned a new project that would not only offer rehabilitation for the homeless but also proactively prevent others from falling into similar situations. Their collaboration led to the creation of New Beginnings, a groundbreaking initiative designed to address the root causes of homelessness while providing practical solutions. The New Beginnings project combined the foundation's comprehensive support services with Sophia's business acumen. They established a program that provided not only shelter and training but also job opportunities through partnerships with companies committed to social inclusion. This approach aimed to create a sustainable ecosystem where individuals at risk of homelessness could find stability and opportunity before facing the dire circumstances James had experienced. As the project took shape, it gained momentum and recognition for its innovative approach and its potential to make a lasting difference. James and Sophia worked tirelessly to refine and expand the program, ensuring that it met the needs of the community while fostering a culture of inclusion and empowerment. Through their efforts, the foundation's impact grew exponentially. The success stories of individuals who had transformed their lives through new beginnings became a source of inspiration and motivation for others. The initiative not only provided practical support but also instilled hope and confidence in those who participated. James and Martha, alongside Sophia, continued to drive the mission forward with unwavering dedication. Their collective vision and tireless work transformed not only the lives of those they directly helped, but also the broader community, demonstrating the profound effect of compassion, innovation, and collaboration. As they looked to the future, they knew that their journey was far from over. With each step, they remained committed to creating lasting change and fostering a world where kindness and opportunity went hand in hand. Together, they embraced the challenges and triumphs that lay ahead, confident in their shared purpose and the transformative power of their work. The rapid success of the New Beginnings initiative sparked a wave of optimism and ambition. As Sophia and James reviewed the program's impressive results, Sophia's visionary spirit took center stage. "James," she said with a sparkle in her eye, "what if we expanded New Beginnings to other cities? There is a vast need out there, and I believe we can replicate our model and make a significant difference on a larger scale." James paused, weighing the implications of her suggestion. "It's a brilliant idea, Sophia. The potential impact is enormous. But we'll need a strong structure and substantial financial backing to pull it off. We should start looking for new partners and investors to support this expansion." He replied, his mind already racing with strategies and possibilities. Martha, ever the generous supporter, leveraged her extensive network to attract new investors and partners eager to contribute to the cause. Sophia's energy and business acumen drove the initiative forward, and soon New Beginnings was making its way to cities across the United States. Each new location presented its own set of challenges, from local regulations to varying needs, but also offered valuable opportunities for growth and learning. The expansion allowed the foundation to touch even more lives, providing hope and support to those in need. As the foundation's influence grew, so did James's transformation. The support and encouragement he had received from Martha and the sense of purpose he found in his work helped him rebuild his confidence and self-worth. The changes in his life extended beyond his professional achievements. James began reflecting on his relationships and the profound impact they had on his journey. His growing bond with Sophia became increasingly apparent. What had started as a professional connection evolved into something deeper. Their shared passion for social change and their collaborative efforts fostered a mutual respect and a mutual laughter. The time they spent together strategizing, problem-solving, and celebrating successes allowed them to discover a genuine emotional connection. One evening, after a particularly successful event for the foundation, James and Sophia took a moment to unwind. As they walked through a park, the city lights casting a warm glow around them, Sophia turned to James with a thoughtful expression. "You know, James," she said softly, "working together on this project has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. But I've come to realize that my feelings for you have grown beyond just professional admiration." James looked at her, his heart swelling with a mix of surprise and happiness. "Then, Sophia, I've felt the same way. Our shared journey has been incredible, and I've come to care for you deeply." Their mutual feelings led to a new chapter in their lives. As their relationship blossomed, it brought additional joy and strength to both their personal and professional endeavors. Together, they continued to drive the mission of New Beginnings, now fueled by their shared love and commitment. The expansion of the foundation was not just about geographical growth, but also about the deepening of the connections they had forged. With Martha's continued support, James' dedication, and Sophia's visionary leadership, new beginnings became a symbol of hope and renewal, not only for those it helped but for everyone involved. Their story was a testament to the power of compassion, perseverance, and the unexpected ways in which life can intertwine. As they looked toward the future, James, Sophia, and Martha knew that their combined efforts had created something truly special, a legacy of kindness and opportunity that would continue to inspire and uplift countless lives for years to come. As the golden hues of sunset bathed Central Park in a warm, soft light, James and Sophia strolled along the winding paths, their conversation drifting seamlessly from the foundation to plans to their dreams. The park, with its tranquil beauty, provided the perfect backdrop for a moment of profound revelation. James stopped by a serene pond, his gaze meeting Sophia's with a blend of gratitude and affection. "Dean Sophia," he began, his voice steady but tinged with emotion, "I need to thank you for everything you've done. Your support has been invaluable, not just in our work but in my life. Your strength and inspiration have been a guiding light for me during this transformative journey." Sophia's eyes softened as she absorbed his words, a gentle smile spreading across her face. "James, working alongside you has been more than just a professional experience. It's shown me what it truly means to make a difference, and I've come to realize that our connection goes beyond just collaboration." The sincerity in her voice touched James deeply. At that moment, the weight of their shared experiences and the depth of their bond became clear. He felt a profound sense of relief and joy, knowing that their partnership was evolving into something even more meaningful. With Sophia by his side and Martha's steadfast support, James felt empowered to embrace the future with renewed optimism. As they continued their walk, the city's skyline shimmering in the distance, the promise of a new chapter seemed within reach. The journey ahead was filled with challenges and opportunities, but the lessons learned and the connections forged had given them a powerful foundation. They understood that the work they were doing was more than just a mission. It was a testament to the impact of resilience, compassion, and the transformative power of human connection. As they reached a quiet clearing, Martha joined them, her presence a reassuring anchor in their shared journey. Together, the trio stood, gazing at the sunset that painted the sky in shades of gold and pink. The horizon symbolized both the end of one chapter and the beginning of another, filled with hope and potential. "We've accomplished so much," Martha said, her voice filled with pride. "But this is just the beginning. With the love, support, and belief we have in each other, there is no limit to what we can achieve." James and Sophia nodded in agreement, their hearts swelling with a shared sense of purpose. They knew that their combined efforts were creating a ripple effect of positive change, and they were eager to continue their journey together. As the evening drew in, they walked back through the park, their steps light and their spirits high. The future was full of promise, and they were ready to face it with unwavering determination and the belief that even the smallest acts of kindness could ignite profound transformations. In that serene moment, under the twilight sky, James, Sophia, and Martha found solace and inspiration. Bound by their shared mission and the profound connections they had built, they looked towards the future with hope, knowing that their combined strength and vision would pave the way for a world where everyone had the chance to start anew. As we wrap up this inspiring journey with James, Sophia, and Martha, we hope you found their story as moving and motivating as we have. Their tale of transformation, kindness, and unwavering support reminds us all of the profound impact we can have on each other's lives. From overcoming adversity to creating opportunities for others, their journey shows us the incredible power of human connection and compassion. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What have you learned from this story? How can you apply these lessons to your own life? Share with us one key takeaway or action you plan to implement in your life by commenting below this video. Your insights could inspire others just as James and Sophia's journey has inspired us. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more stories and content like this, please leave your comment below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support helps us continue bringing you inspiring and uplifting content. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.